This is the No BS Travel Advisor podcast. I'm Marcie Muensterman, and this show is for travel advisors who want to run profitable businesses, charge what they're worth, and stop following outdated bullshit advice just because someone in the industry told them that that is the way it has always been done. Each episode brings real talk, practical strategies, and real stories from fellow travel advisors, because sometimes the best way to learn is hearing how someone else figured their shit out. So let's get to it. Hey y'all, today's guest has been in the industry for almost a decade, and she's living proof that you can build a business your way without selling your soul. She also has ADHD. So for all of you ADHD agents out there, this is a good one for you to listen to speed it up, because I know how you are. A mom of 2 teenagers, so we have a lot in common. We're going through it together. Married and the breadwinner in her family. She almost walked away during COVID, as did the rest of us, but instead she doubled down. So proud of her, took control, and now she's rocking destination weddings like a pro. I'm so pumped she's here. Please welcome Melissa Esposito from Vacations by Melissa. How are you today?
Good. Hello.
Hey, I'm so pumped you're here.
Oh, me too. This is awesome.
Okay, before we talk travel, I just have to say, how is raising 2 teenagers who probably also have ADHD? Mine do. So I'm like, we're all just hot mess.
So my one teenager, so I have like a tween, very much almost a teenager, and then a full-on teenager. And my teenager was officially diagnosed this summer with ADHD, which I felt like I probably knew since the child was 4.
Of course.
So but you can't do that I personally wasn't diagnosed until I was 19, 20. So whatever.
I think I was 37.
Okay.
So I got him diagnosed way earlier.
Yes.
Way earlier.
Once you realize that's once I learned this is not everybody has to feel like this in their brain all of the time. That's really helpful. So that has actually helped him a lot. And
good.
How is raising my teenagers? Ask me which day. Today? Okay. 3 days ago?
Right.
I was legit, I am filled with rage. And this is not who I am.
Do you feel like though, this is how I feel. Obviously, very different. Everybody warned me about having teenagers, but actually I feel like I've stumbled into kind of my favorite season because we can have real conversations. I'm not arguing with a 6-year-old about getting in the car and going somewhere. It's Max, we have to be somewhere at this time. Set your alarm on your phone. It feels easier, in my opinion, most days. Obviously, the attitude is there and there's lots of independent thoughts, but I don't know.
I am not going through that. I know.
I got lucky, I guess. I had a hard time when they were little. I had a hard time.
Yeah. I don't really like baby stages, but I actually really loved 4 to 10. I'm those years were magical for me. Cause they're cute enough, but I was I could talk to them, always have talked to them about everything. But they were still sweet at the time. We weren't angsty and stuff, which is where I think we're at now. The other thing is and I know this about myself, the way my parents raised me, and it's going like this with our kids too. I might be likable, but I'm not the most easygoing person. So me and my husband are kind of like this. I care about what I want. I'm opinionated. I'm my husband will say, I'm a contrarian. I don't like to go with the flow. And I have kids like that. And so it's I'm raising independent-minded children who are turning into independent.
I love that about you.
Exactly. It's a great thing. And I think it's going to work out well when they're adults. I hope so. But going through it, you're I did not raise my kids to just obey just because of whatever it is.
Me either.
So,
Neither.
But then it's then I constantly am questioned with the why. Well, why do I have to do it this way? Well, I can find this other better way. And it's sometimes I just want to be just do what I say.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I do feel that in my soul. I do feel that for sure. And mine, I don't know about yours, but mine are very opposite. So Jude is hyper organized. She knows her next thing. She sets her alarm. She doesn't like to be late. Max is just sort of la ti da. And I'm always dude, we need to get going. And actually, you will laugh at this. I have been sick for the last few days, and they have had kind of ups and downs because it started with Jude. Eric got it and Max didn't officially get it. I got it. And then he totally came in last night and was like, I don't feel good. I don't think I want to go to school tomorrow. And Jude had a half day. And I was like, neither one of them are going to school. This was like my life. I'm too sick. I don't want to do the car line this morning and then go get her half day. Like, it's such a waste of my day. So I just was like, I don't care. Well, then I tell Jude and she's like, I don't know if I want to miss school. And then Max was like, I'm definitely going to miss school. So they're just opposites, like in every aspect. I don't know if yours are like that too.
100% the opposite. And mine are the same. Like my older one, my Dominic is, yes, very like, la-di-da, what do I want to do right now? He's the ADHD one, you know, and very emotional and very like, then when he has something he doesn't want to do, he just wants to get it done really, really quick. Doesn't really care about that, you know?
Yes.
And then my other one, Vincent, is also, and Dominic is not like, he wasn't really big into sports, didn't play like instruments. It's like not his thing. He doesn't have a lot of those like extracurricular things he's really into, and it's fine. And so sometimes that struggle. My younger one, Vincent, literally into everything. So he plays piano and viola and the saxophone, and he's in choir and he's in baseball and he goes to fitness club and so like everything all the time. But the problem is that and he's in the musical. He wants to be the very best at every single thing the very minute that he starts it. And he is very angry if he is not very good at it. Like
that is so interesting. She's like that too. She's super high achieving. She just started playing volleyball like a month ago and decided to go out for the 8th grade volleyball team, made the team. If she's not starting, if she's not like in there I'm like, dude, you just started. Like, but luckily she's talented enough. Like, she's a prime player, but it's still just, I agree. Like her teachers are wonderful, but the one thing they always say about her is like, she is harder on herself than they could ever be, because if she gets something wrong, she like wants to hash it out and figure it out before she moves on. And Max is like, I got a C, bitches. I'm good. Okay. It's just interesting, I think, sometimes when you're being raised by the same parents. And the other day I watched a video and it said there are no two children who have the exact same childhood, even in the same home.
Yeah.
Because we cannot raise our children the same way. And I just think that is I was like, that is so true. Yeah. Like your experiences with your family and how you take in the world. So I think so funny.
And exactly. So our kids are very similar, like the older and the younger. And then I think the other thing that I have to keep on reminding myself as I struggle through is like everything they do is not my fault or responsibility. Like my kids are becoming adults. Like they are not, they're getting to be adults, and like they're not yet, but like you don't go from being like 3 years old where like when your kid is like beating everybody else up and you're like, oh, well, is it, you know, when people say it's the parents' fault, like blah, 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 whatever. And I'm like, when my kids do things right or wrong, it's not always really my full fault and responsibility, because that's where I take it really personal with things. And I have to be like, sometimes, again, 2 kids, totally different personalities. Like these are the qualities of their personalities too. Like some of these things are just who they are. And I have to be like, okay, I can't fix every single thing.
I think too, we have to just realize that there are consequences and we have to teach them the consequences. It's not about teaching them how to be perfect all the time and not ever make a bad decision or make a mistake. It's about how do you deal with those mistakes on your own. You know, and how are you speaking to your teachers, and how, you know, we keep getting these emails from his teachers at high school, like they're very disruptive during class. And my husband's like, is Max disruptive during class? If Max is disruptive during class, we will address it. Otherwise, you cannot send these blanket emails to 400 parents and expect us to know, because I'll eventually talk to Max about it. I'll be like, are you being disruptive in X's class? And he's like, no, Mom, I sit in the front row and I answer every question. Right. So it's like, but then am I the parent that's not doing my job because I'm not like, hey, well, make sure everybody else is following the rules. It's like, dude, we don't get to control how our kids act outside of us, especially at this age. I feel like at this age, they are making decisions that are different. But I think what I'm starting to take away from parenting teenagers, again, is like, I can have real conversation. We can talk to Max. We can discuss the thing. We can, and like understand disappointment. We can say no in a different way. Like it's not just like, here, have a lollipop and shut the fuck
No.
Let's have an actual conversation, which is why I think I enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And last night I was like, parenting hack, there's a new update to your iPhone and it is really cool, but overwhelming. So I was like, Max, Jude, like what's going on with the new iPhone update? They literally sat down and showed me everything on my phone for an hour. And I was like, this is the best way to spend time with your kids. Just ask them how to use your phone because otherwise you're going to end up being like, how was your day? Fine. How was math class? Fine. Did you pass your test? I don't know. It's like, I need more. And so I'm starting to find like little connective, which is kind of how we have to be with our clients. Like,
yes.
What do you think of this? How do you feel about that? Pulling it out of them anyway. So
that's funny.
Well, I love that. I love that we have so much in common. We talk all the time.
I know.
And I really enjoy our relationship. So I'm just pumped you're here. But let's talk more about you and how you got into travel and what else you're doing. Because I know you volunteer and you're married. So besides, all the normal things, what is going on with you and your business?
Okay, so should I start from the beginning of my story?
Yes. I mean, you've been doing this 9 years. So, I mean, a long enough time to be considered a veteran in our field. I think 5+ years.
Isn't that wild to think about?
Veteran. It goes by fast.
It does. Well, and especially I feel like there's a whole new, were you an agent? Did you do this before COVID or did you start after?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Did you grow up with the internet or not? It's a completely different reality.
For
people who started in the boom, in 2022 when I'm like, okay, cool. Well, things are getting tough right now for you. Okay, sorry, dude. Yes, I know it was.
You have seen nothing.
You have no idea.
We don't respect the new vibe of who's coming in, but there is those of us, it's BC. It's the new BC. If you went through COVID as a travel advisor and survived, it is a totally different energy than if you chose, hey, I really want to be a travel advisor in 2022. It's just a different energy. So we're all a little bit, it's not that we're better or anything, but it's just a different energy that we bring to the business, I think.
100% agree. So I was a hairstylist for 22 years. So
I don't think I knew that. I love that.
Yeah. I started before 9/11. I was I was just talking about it the other day. My son had to ask, where were you on 9/11 and whatever? And I was like, I was working at the salon that I worked at for half of my life. So I went right out of high school. I went to beauty school and then I worked at the same salon for 22 years. I loved it. It was a great job. I didn't ever super love doing hair. I liked it and I was good at it, but I loved talking to people individually.
Yes.
Things like this. You have a hairstylist, you understand, there is a deep relationship that you make.
Of course I have a hairstylist. Yes. I'm a blonde.
Yes.
I used to be really blonde naturally. Now, over the years, it's just gotten darker. So now I have to maintain, and it takes 3.5 hours to do my hair. So
exactly.
Obviously, I have a hairstylist, and we are in a relationship.
You're in a relationship with your hairstylist.
We're in it.
How
correct.
Exactly. And I think that was those are the skills that probably are the very best. That's probably the skills that I have best for my sales now at this point. Why I love sales calls, why I have just because I just love getting to know people individually and connecting with them and stuff. Yeah, that's probably the only part I miss of doing hair. But anyway, I did hair for all those years. So in 19, I had a couple of people that I knew from the salon who one of them had she was actually doing travel, wherever. And I was planning not the 2019, 16, 2026. So it started in 2014, she planned my first Disney trip. And then in 2015, she planned my next one. And then in 2016, she started her own agency.
Okay.
So when she started her own agency, she brought along another girl also from my salon. And they asked me to be in their agency. And I was like, I don't know how to sell travel. They were like, you already know how to plan Disney trips, so we'll help you figure out how to make money from it.
The gateway drug of literally, I feel like 75% of travel advisors is, I love Disney. I want to plan Disney trips.
That's it.
Nothing wrong with it. I'm not judging it. I just waited a long time to learn how to plan Disney, and I was forced into it.
Yeah.
So it was a different avenue to learning it. But I know that Disney's a great gateway drug. It really is for our community.
It is. It is. And now when other people, I'm like, great, go do Disney. Enjoy it. Stay there for a while.
Do not call me. I know someone who does that.
I'm always like, trust me, I got some people for you now.
I have all the people. Yes. 100%.
Yeah.
I love that.
So that was 2016, and that was very much like a part-time thing. And then I still did hair, and so I worked in a salon, but I also did destination weddings. I did wedding hair, like on site.
Okay.
It's just like a referral kind of a business. Some of my clients would get married, and they wanted to be, or their kids were getting married or whatever, and at the hotel nearby. So I started doing a lot of that on the side too. And continued that all for several years. And
I love watching those wedding hair videos.
Oh, yeah.
I get sucked in, and then you watch one, and then it's just like constantly giving you them. And I'm like, why do I sit here to watch the reveal every time? And when they don't reveal, I'm like, wait, where did I need to see the reveal? They're my favorite.
They actually, it's so funny. One of the girls that was like super new, and I took her with me on some jobs doing hair. She then started up on her own, and she got into like getting really, really, really good at her craft and became like an influencer on it. And now and I'm so proud of her. Like, she's awesome.
We'll have to drop her little link.
I will.
Give her like a little boost. What's her name?
Her name is Marissa. Well, it was Brennan, but she got married last year. So it's Marissa. Oh my gosh, what does she call herself now? I'll definitely put her link in there.
Send me the link and I'll add it.
And she's
Marissa, we love hair videos.
Yes. And so she actually does. So she used to have so many. You can go back and look at all her ones. She'd be like, style my bride with me. And
I will totally binge them.
I am binge.
Obsessed.
Yeah. Yes. And then, of course, if there's anybody who is like, so she's positioned herself in that industry like you here, which I think is really cool. So she's like she started her like Bridal Boss Academy, like teaching people how to be good at that and like turn it into a really like thriving business,
Love that.
Yeah, it's really cool. I'm like,
the
so
education side of these industries have changed so much since you and I started. And I love that because it's not just that you're getting education from like a host company or a salon. You're literally able to learn from your colleagues who have been through the same experiences. And I think that really changes the game when you're having real conversations.
It's so like relatable too. It's like, it's so much more, I mean, yeah, it's cool. It's cool. So I will definitely drop her.
Definitely drop Marissa's link because I love a hair video. I'm obsessed. And sometimes I use those as inspiration photos for my hair colors because I love like how the colors blend when the hair is done and curled. And like, I'm just obsessed. I'm almost surprised I didn't go into styling, but I don't think I like people quite as much as stylists have to enjoy people, I love them like this, like hanging out with you here. But the other day you were kind of talking about how you were like really anxious just working from home and wanting to get out in the world. But don't you guys have a coffee shop?
Yeah. So we do.
Oh, is that a good way for you to like get some people lead?
Yes. And so yesterday I did actually, Jen Gemberling, right? Yes, okay. I did actually. She said, Marcie just told me to apply. I was like, sure.
I love Jen. She came to Momentum. We got to know each other. She's just an incredible woman.
I love her too. Yeah. I love her too. She and I are going away together in January.
Love it. And you guys met at your coffee shop, like the TA thing?
We met on one of your groups somewhere, and she was like, I'm also from, your area. And I was like, come to my coffee shop. And she was like, I want to learn destination weddings. And I was like, come be my friend. And I just like literally invited her into
it's the fucking best. And I love that.
Yeah.
I love that you guys have connect. Oh, that's my favorite part of the Maximize community.
Yeah.
Like it is literally, I'm obsessed with that part of it. Like just that you guys like meet up and hang out and you're just like, oh, I live there too. And then you get together. I'm so obsessed with that. So sorry. Okay. So Disney 2016, we'll come back to this because I still want to talk about it, but I just want to make sure I keep a little bit on track.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Seriously. These two brains will just.
Yes, we're in trouble for the rest of the hour.
Seriously. That's all right. I know. I'm like, this is where I would be like, I'll even tell my people when I'm leaving them a message, if I'm getting to, just put me on like 3 times speed. You can get to the point.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's no problem. So, okay. So back to my story, 2016. So like for the next few years, I did, I took the same path like everybody. Oh, I'd learned some cruises, did some sandals and beaches, blah, 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 blah. And like, then got into a little bit more of those Mexico and Caribbean. And I ended up with a couple of weddings. So one was like my cousin who got married.
Okay.
And she ended up having like a wedding at Sandals. So I learned a whole lot I had to deal with there on very early, like a year into this business, we turned out to be like a 75-person wedding in a country I'd never been to at a Sandals.
That's a hell of a commission though. Oh my gosh.
It would have been.
Some of the best commission.
It would have been.
Oh shit. What happened?
Yeah, I mean it was, but it would have been really good now. Like, so.
Oh, there wasn't good commission split at that time?
I wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I understand.
for those next 3 years of like doing this, I started to find like, again, I don't, as my husband tells me, not very good at working for other people or following other people's plans in this world.
Yeah.
So I'm a beat to my own drum.
That's why we're here, girl.
Exactly.
Like the epitome, I think, of so many travelers.
Yeah.
I don't think they realize it when they become a travel advisor that they are craving that independence.
Yes.
Like it's not just, oh, I want to book Disney or I want to do this. It's, I need some autonomy in my life. I need some control.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And so I kind of like, I told you, like, I'm like a relationship builder. And when I meet people, I just want to like connect people. And so I did just naturally, I started like, I had somebody who wanted to go to a Hard Rock. And so I was like, I'm going to find this BDM. And so like, I found he's still like a friend and he is still one of my favorite BDMs, different company now, but Ashley. Yeah. And I found him and was like, please come meet this agency. And like, I would just start making BDM connections and making friendly and you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, as we should.
Right. Yes. And so like, long story short, my husband for the next 3 years continually would be like, can you just do this all by yourself? Like, because you complain about a lot of things and you're really right about it. And I was like, no, I can't. I know I can't. And then so magically, I met this woman, Vicky, who is one of the greatest humans who ever existed. I love her very much.
Yeah.
I did her son got married and I did the hair for her future daughter, or her daughter-in-law today. So I did her hair. I met her. It was so random. I didn't even know her daughter-in-law. It was like a weird situation. So I meet this mother-in-law and I'm doing her hair on the wedding day and she's so sweet. And she says, I plan travel and this and that. And I was like, oh, I just started. Here I am like, I just started doing that too. Like, and she was like, try this supplier and I suggest you get involved in this and whatever. And here's my number if you're ever interested, if you ever have any questions. And I was thinking, she didn't even look at me as competition. She just was like,
I love that.
Right. She was just like, yeah, I can just help. So like,
you meet one advisor like this. One who is just like, here's all the stuff you might need. I can help you. It changes your entire life. It changes your entire business. It opens up because there's so much protection around, I know that where I always say it's not a secret, but somehow it's been secretly being held close to the chest. Like information is out there, but it's like, if you can have a little gateway to getting it, it just changes your life. And then you can pass that on to another advisor. Exactly. But that is not how we're taught usually. So I love that she did that for you.
She did. And so over the course of those so 2016 till 2019, essentially when I needed help, I would often reach out to my friend Vicky,
Good.
And she was the one who really was very helpful through that time. And so again, by the time of 2019 came around and, just like a couple of things that had happened, I would sometimes find out later, there was something to apply for and nobody told me, that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, it was just whatever. So I could feel it. I was ready to be something on my own. And so Vicky was actually she was used to be what I am now. So she was her own LLC. She was completely independent, but she did have a host, like a true host. So she was like under a small host agency, but she had decided that host was like super involved in cruises, and she just wanted to do some different other kinds of things. She wanted to be in different weddings and honeymoons and stuff. And so she decided to go all in and get her own IATA just herself. She was like, didn't want any agents or anything. She just was like, exactly.
That's where I am right now. Yeah.
She was like, it's just time. And so she, and like a miracle, she called me up at exactly a moment that I was really struggling mentally.
Yeah.
And she said, just want to I'm going out on my own, and I don't want to build an agency, and I don't want to train people, and I don't want to do all that. But I would like to bring you, if you're interested, I would take you on at, I think I can say the number, right? I can say
you can say whatever.
I can say whatever I want. All right.
Say what you want.
She offered me 95% off the bat.
Oh.
No fees. Yeah.
Wow, that's so nice. It was just like helping her build her numbers, right?
Exactly.
Like,
she said, so it will just give us a little more power in
negotiation.
Exactly. Yeah, because we were booking a lot of the same things at the time anyway. So
yeah, and then you can talk to your BDM and they can advocate for you to have those higher commissions with that specific supplier, which is a game changer for smaller companies because, you know, it doesn't always make sense to be on your own.
Yeah.
100%. So it's almost like you were business partners versus.
That's what she has always said. So she said to me, though, she said, here's the deal. You have to go get your own LLC. I don't want you have to get your own terms and conditions. You have to be your own business. Yeah. But like, basically, that's exactly what she said.
Which is what you need, which is what you should be doing. Yes. It needs to be independent. You need to be Vacations by Melissa.
Exactly.
I love a simple name, by the way. I love how direct it is. We're not confused.
No.
We're not sassy sand and sunshine travel. Like, I can't.
I know. I'm always like, was it?
Then you can do whatever you want.
It's true. It was the dumbest, quickest name ever. I was like,
no, it's not dumb. It's specific.
It works.
It's direct.
It is clear.
It tells you what you do. I am obsessed. I'm the travel advisor, Marcie. That's literally my LLC.
That's true. That's true. That works. I know. Mine's Vacation by Melissa Incorporated.
I love it, though. And if you want to DBA it with some like cutesy names, you can. Sure. But nobody is looking for that. Like, it's so, I don't know, like, whenever I think about names, and I don't think we've ever talked about this on the podcast because I don't want to offend anybody, but, well, I don't know that that's not true. I'll offend people. It's fine. But I meant, like, I don't want to hurt people's feelings deliberately. Sure. But sometimes I'm like, who is searching for that? No one is searching for that. But if your name is in the name and your name is in your SEO, searchability, LinkedIn, Instagram now will pull it up. You've got your Google searches, your website, like, you're going to be more findable with a name that is more direct. And it just doesn't make sense to me sometimes when it's like apothecary travel. It's like, no one can spell apothecary. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. And secondly, what does that even mean? Like, it's like, I don't want to hurt people's feelings, but I'm like, remember, if they can't spell it, they can't find it.
That's right.
If they can't say it, they can't find it. If they can't, they
can't remember it.
Like simple. Yeah, they can't remember it. And then just simple is better, guys. We'll just leave it at that. But I love Vacations by Melissa. I love that you were just like, I had to go get one. That's what I chose.
Yeah. It was like today. It was like, we're doing this.
I am obsessed.
Right now.
And
I went to like my accountant and I was like, okay, can you help me? Like, and he was like, yep. All right. What do you want to call it? And I was like,
knock it out. Okay. Yes, girl. Yep. I'm so proud of you. Thanks. And I know that jump, even though it was like easy to make, it was scary, right? Like, you're making a huge change. It's a lot of paperwork. It's a lot of new stuff that you never had to do before.
Yeah. Oh, it totally was. And then it was like, and then it was all of the steps as far as like, for quite a while, I didn't have my own like website. I had to learn a whole new CRM. I mean, I could have done whatever I wanted, but she did offer, she said, you can use whatever you want, but I already pay for VCRM and I'm going to pay for you to have, a login. All you have to do is put in for getting your commissions, but it's a really good program and you're welcome to use it. And of course it was like super overwhelming because everybody who knows who's ever had to learn a new CRM who never used it before, it can be like super
overwhelming. I'm learning one right now.
Oh, you're learning travel, right?
Yes. And my brain hurts. Like, I'm doing all the trainings, and actually Sam is also doing all the trainings so he can become my tech wizard for the client, for the agents. But like, I love it. I think it's a
Sure.
great system, but like just learning something new at my age, also, I just realized my brain does not absorb the information the same.
Mm-hmm.
So
Agree.
I'm painful sometimes. Like, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I can't take another training on this. Sam!
Yeah.
So I'm like, can you take this and explain it to me like I'm 5?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
100%. And that's exactly why I don't switch at this point, because like we actually just had this whole discussion yesterday about Travel Joy, Turn, and all the other things. And I'm like,
There's so many great options, but
sure. I'm like,
learning
for
to
right now, for me, it's not broken. So I'm not going to fix it because I have tested all of the other ones for like a month or so. And I just get so overwhelmed. And I think back to 2019 when I went through all this the first time and I was like, okay, this is still fine. We're
Well,
not
right. You're not just moving
yeah,
your brain, you're like literally moving your entire client base into a new system,
yeah,
and trusting that that information is secure. I don't know, just the whole systematic processes of moving the administrative, literally, Melissa, the reason I've never had my own agency, IATA, any of that, is because I did not want to do the paperwork.
yes.
I did not want to sign up with all the vendors. I did not want to get 25 fucking 1099s at the end of the year. Like, I avoided it for so long until it became just impossible to avoid anymore if I wanted to stay on TA because of all the
Yes.
drama I caused last year. But like, truly, I was forced into it because I just didn't want to switch. And I, like, the host company I was with had a bomb ass CRM. And so getting all that information out and just moving it has been traumatizing.
Yes.
Feel this in my soul that you're like,
Yes.
good.
Yes. I'm like, I'm good until it goes out of business. Like I'm done.
And God forbid if it goes out of business, like before I retire.
I know. Well, I'm like, at least I'm like, well, 1/3 of the industry is on the same one as I am. So like,
Same.
we're probably going to be okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Same over here with Travel Joy.
yeah,
I'm like,
exactly.
it's good. It's been around forever. It's a really
Exactly.
solid option. I know that there's other choices I could have
Sure.
made, but I didn't make those. So
I actually, I was just telling another friend of ours in our little circle that when she just left her and started her own. And I said from the beginning, I was like, I would go with Travel Joy. If I was starting tomorrow brand new, this is what I would go with. But I'm not going to. I tested it for a little while and I was like, this is really nice. But not worth
it's definitely got like there's no perfect CRM. I don't care what anyone says about the culty one. It's going to be a hard. It's culty.
It's real culty. And
I love all my agent friends, but sometimes I'm like, y'all are in a cult and you don't even know. And it's only because they got in so early that they're like obsessive. And it's like, that's great for you, but you can't always change somebody's mind. And like, I did test, like, it doesn't matter. Yes. I don't dislike it. It's not me hating on something. It's just literally like sometimes you guys got in so early on it that now, and they are doing great things. They're literally killing it.
I agree.
But I'm like, I need something a little bit more simplistic. And I really found that in Travel Joy. And then they really do have a wonderful groups option. Like if you do group, if you do destination weddings, I really feel strongly and passionately that if you are starting that now, especially, Travel Joy is the best choice out there. So it's like, I do not even have an affiliate link, y'all. I believe in sharing the experiences and the research and for me, and I'm older, I'm now 45. Like, I feel like my brain can handle it, even though I just complained. It's just because it's new for me. Right. But I think anyone who has been using it for 3 or 4 years is probably like, Marce, it gets easier, just like everything we do. But so anyway, another tangent, but I love that we were talking about this. We have not really discussed CRMs on the pod. So it's always good to touch base on that. But I really understand what you're saying. Like, it was like, okay, we made this big move. It was a big deal to move everybody over to your new CRM, your new agency. And then obviously COVID happened.
Right. So it was like, so here was the worst for me. So in 2019, I spent that whole year, me and Vicky, I'm servicing the rest of my bookings in the old one. So then, anybody who's ever changed a host agency knows you've got a while that you have everything. You have this.
And for almost like it could be like a year and a half.
Exactly. Right. And so this was January of 2019. 2019. So I start this entire year of 2019 where I'm like, now I'm on my own and I'm like, I'm excited.
Let's go. Yeah.
I was going to have, Vicky and I were like, oh, 2020 is going to be the best year that we've ever done in travel. Amazing. Like all the things
We were all thinking that, like,
literally
travel was on the rise. I had come back in 2018 after 3 years off.
All right.
And was killing. My 2020 sales were insane. So
Insane.
I feel this in my soul right now.
And we all know how the story goes.
Yes.
And it was just devastating over and over and over again. I really remember, it's not like people who didn't live through it, like think back and look at the time and I'm like, oh, that was a rough period of time. And I'm like, no, it was like a rough continually, like month after month. And I actually
almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years. And I actually felt like in 2021, I was almost more traumatized because I started to because remember we would get to like early 2021 and you were like, well, people are going to actually start to travel again, right? And then you'd be like, something would happen and you'd be like, I can't do this again. I can't cancel this shit again. Like I can feel myself, like I can feel the intensity.
I was getting anxious when you started talking about it. I'm like, okay. We haven't really talked about 2021, and what 2021 did was gave us hope and then took it away, gave us hope and took it away.
Exactly. That's exactly.
And I forgot. I kind of blacked that out.
Same. It wasn't until this moment that I was like, 2020, there was almost something. 2021 was like, this is yours.
Like we knew, I think we all came to terms with 2020 around June, July.
Yeah.
We knew it was over. We knew our year was over. We knew it was fucked. We knew we were going to have to either get another job or live off of our savings. I think with 2021, when things started to open back up very slowly, I think it gave us that like tether of hope, and then it would be taken away, or we would send somebody away and they would get COVID and they couldn't get home. And it was just like, I don't think I sold a traveling vacationer until October of 21 after I had canceled all of 2020. And I had 5 weddings in 2020 that I had to move, and I moved them to 21, and then most of them got married in 22. It was so sad, girl. I think that probably was the nail in the coffin for me when it came to weddings, but I don't think I acknowledged it till just now.
I know. 2021, I really did block out of my mind, but it was bad. Really bad.
You're bringing it back. It's like a therapy session.
Exactly.
How did you survive? And are you okay now? It's like, I'm okay, I think.
I know. But you know what? The other thing is, I just remember people who weren't in the industry all being like, but you just wait. It's going to come back with a vengeance. It's going to bounce back so strongly. I'm like, perfect. Do you want to tell that to my mortgage in the meantime? Like, that sounds awesome. Like, ugh.
You cannot get back that always pissed me off too. And it made my skin crawl, because I agree with you, Melissa. Like, yes, it was bouncing back. Yes, they were coming back to travel, but we had lost not 2 years of our life, but whatever you were planning for a year to 18 months prior to 2020, we booked so far out. Like, I'm already half booked for 2026.
Yeah,
like
same.
I've started booking 2026 a couple months ago. I know agents who book up to 2027. Yesterday, somebody asked, what do you do with these 2027ers who won't pull the trigger? And I'm like, I'm good. Like, I don't need anybody booking 2027 right now, because I don't want to book too far ahead.
My first 27 wedding.
Okay, so you're already booking that time. So that's 2 years from now. Imagine if all of that is taken away and then it takes another 2 years to recover. You don't get your time back, which is our most valuable resource. And don't talk to me about the fucking money, because the money is fucking gone. There was no money to begin with. We weren't charging fees then, and the cancellation policies were in line with consumers, as they should be. Right. But that meant we got nothing, like $0 for almost 2 years.
It was bad.
You can't make that up. Like, it doesn't come back. So you have to be resilient. And obviously we are. Even though we're like cranky, but we're resilient.
Exactly. Somehow we stick through it.
But it's true. It's true. And I think that's why a lot of agents did retire or leave the industry or close their doors and maybe took some time off. I talked to Chastity last week, and she took some time off, during that time. And that was probably a really good move.
Yeah. I didn't necessarily take off, but I was still doing hair. And so I was like stayed more focused on that. Like, so that was lucky for me that I still had both. Like, it wasn't until, so moving along in my timeline, by 2022, things are starting to pick up or whatever. End of 21, beginning of 22, I guess I had some people were like, "Hey, could you book my destination wedding?" And I was like, "No, we just got through this. It just the cancels and the reschedules, and then the broke it down to 14 people came to the wedding, and all these different. Like I was like, no, I'm done. Like this was terrible. I'm never doing that again. And then they were like, sweet clients of mine whose trips I had planned in the past, and I really liked them, and I was like, okay, maybe. So, and then, like long story, super short, that's what led me to Destination Wedding University, to Will. I heard about Will from Vicky. I talked to Will.
I know that you love Destination Wedding University.
I do. And it's like, and that enlightened me and changed a lot of my perspective. And again, I was able to see, this is a bunch of people like Vicky. Vicky was in it at the time, and she had kind of stopped doing destination weddings, and she was just like, I'm just going to give them to you. I just want to do these honeymoons instead. But she's like, yeah, join this thing. I did it with this Will Medina, and he's so sweet, and you would love him because he's all about the community and that, instead of competition. And I got right in, and I was like, again, having started there's plenty of people in this industry still that are much more competition over community. They do still exist. There's plenty.
They do. Well, I mean, I would say the majority is like that.
I mean, I don't know because the people that I surround myself.
Well, you're going to attract what you are, Melissa, and you are community.
Yes.
And I do think when you surround yourself with people that have that same energy, that's what you're going. But I absolutely think that there is a significant portion of our community that is still very competitive for no reason, but they just can't stop.
No, it's like that's all they know, I guess. Anyway, no need to give them any more airtime.
No.
So then starting 2023, I decided that was my okay, I'm really back in on travel. And so I decided, actually, really my husband told me okay, I will support you in all this that you want to do. You want to do this, the university, you want to take on the weddings, you want to travel to Mexico all the time, but you can do that, but you can't also go work at the salon 2 days a week. It's too much. You're I
actually do kind of remember this stage of your career because I think it's right around the time we connected. And I do recall that you were leaving the salon and nervous about that steadier income.
Of course,
and doing travel full time.
Yep. And at that time, my husband was fully employed, working from home, making a good income. He did not like his job at all whatsoever, but it made plenty of money and he was here. So it did give me that time to be able to build my business. So it worked out well for all of that. But it was that early 2023. So I did end up taking the leap, quit hair altogether, which again was fine. I had gotten down to only 2 days a week. Again, my body's getting older. I was starting to find after doing 8 hours a day at the salon, and then the next day I was a zombie for my family, and then I'm working on all this travel stuff, and it was just too much.
And just burning it at both ends because they're both sales jobs. They're both very intensive. They're both peoply. So being very empathetic, having to be a good listener. It's a lot of mental energy, especially for women with ADHD. But we also thrive in those types of environments. So I know you were killing it. I know that you had started to book a lot more weddings. We had met at that point.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, but you were my very first person who ever invested in first class community. You stalked it till it went on sale.
And you went to Italy, right?
Yes. I was like, Miranda, we have to get this out before I leave for my Italy trip because Melissa is stalking me. Every day you'd be like, when's it coming? What time on the 18th? I was like, girl, I don't even know because I've never done this. I'm like, I don't know. And then you just purchased it. I was like, how does she know it's going to be any good? I remember just being like, what if it sucks? And you will die. But you wrote me, I think I got back from Italy, I don't know, on a random Thursday. And you were like, hey, I love the course. I need a workbook. And I wrote a workbook in 24 hours for you, sent it to you privately. And then I was like, shit, now I have to upload this workbook.
All right.
And now we have a workbook
Now, and it
for
has
every single course that is phenomenal, but it's not like something I would use, which is why I didn't include it.
That's so funny. And I printed it, and I think I still have it actually over there in my.
That was the most ghetto workbook I have ever done, girl. Like, it was horrid. I look back on that time and I'm like, I'm so glad she thought that was pretty because it looks like Miranda and I revamped that entire course later. And like, Miranda was like, what the fuck were we thinking? And I was like, girl, we're getting it done over here. Like, the content was good, but
hey, I love it. I love watching your evolution of that because you're right. It was scrappy. The information was accurate. And I was like, and now I think about it, I'm like, yeah, duh. That's what happens when you take the information from your brain. You just need to like throw it on a thing with questions, like you know what I mean? Like to keep yourself in order. But yes, I mean, your stuff has become like, woof, now you're gorgeous. Now you're like, you know, everything.
I'm not gorgeous.
Miranda, I get it. Yes.
Mirandize me. I call it the Mirandize moment. Like, she just sees us differently. Like,
I know.
You tell her what you like. You tell her who you are. And every year she's like, we need to get a little grittier with your website. Like, it went through another, I call it like the Botox moment. We're just like tightening it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But she's like, we need to tell more of your story. You need to get grittier. And I'm always like, okay. And it's very uncomfortable to have somebody evaluating you constantly like that. But it's also so helpful to have an outside eye on your business. So, you know, when you were my favorite because you just seemed so supportive at that time. And I didn't have anybody. I didn't have supporters. Nobody knew who I was. I think there was probably a couple hundred people in the group at the time that you were like, I'm ready to buy your stuff. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with her? Like, she doesn't even know me.
But you know why? You know why? So I remember I was thinking about this. How did I end up in your group in the first place? I know exactly why. You were going into the other groups and you were just like answering questions and you're a slightly more polished version of yourself. Like now I know, like you were still honest, but not like as raw as you are now. I get that. But when you would answer people's questions. So, you know, I could see your name started popping. You weren't my friend yet, but I could see your name start popping up in the things because that's how those things work in the groups. And so I would be like, oh, her name's there. Oh, she's answering. Oh, she's answering. And then once you said in a few different groups, I'm going to start a course based on building a business with a Facebook group. If you want to join my free group, here it is. So you said that. And I was like, yeah, sure. I'll join.
It's still allowed. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not post that shit anymore.
No, of course not. But like, there was like 100 people in there. And I was like, okay. And I jumped in. And because, and you've said this in all your classes, you're like, if you don't think this works, look and see how you ended up here. like
so often now I'm like, guys, like you're here because of how I do this.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter what business you're building. You can really implement that strategy across business lines.
100%. And I was like, yeah. So that's why I got it. That's why when I was like, if you're going to teach this, if you're going to explain exactly what you do and how you do, I already know it works because I'm here and I'm watching other people land here. Like I saw exactly your funnel and how it worked. So of course I'm going to trust you, you know, like I didn't even have to hesitate. Honestly, I was like,
I think I just had so much imposter syndrome those early months, just like anybody starting something new. A lot of people had brought Will into my circle, but I didn't know him. And then we lost him, obviously, as a community, which was horrible. And it happened right around the same time I was launching, actually.
Yes.
So it was just a devastating time for the community, but it was like, in some ways, what has been created was like, I know that was his main goal, was like, from what you guys have told me and from what I've learned about him over the last couple of years, it's just like, community is so important. And it doesn't matter if you buy something. It doesn't matter, we want to help. We want to stop the gatekeeping and open up those conversations so that it's easier for people to do this well.
To do it well. That's the key. Because he wanted to, and I know you do too, to elevate the business. Because if you elevate, everybody has elevated the business.
Yes.
Then everyone trusts TAs more. Like that is the key that's why I fucking hate the MLMs. I know you do too. And I hate them so passionately because, and I'm like, it's not the individuals that are all in there. It's the fact that the problem is then regular old customer, guests, clients everywhere, they work with somebody who became a TA for, $40 a month and a laptop. And like, but they didn't do it well and they ruined their trip. I have had this literally happen. I've had people come and tell me this and then they go, that's stupid. I should just do this myself. Like I should never use a travel advisor. They're all this like slimy, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, no, don't put them in my category. Like, I
know.
And
it's so tough. It's really tough because it's not like we don't want the industry to grow. Somebody was kind of arguing with me that this is the best way to bring people in. And I'm like, no, it is not the best way. We've been building travel advisors have been around since the 1800s. So let's just get that straight. And it has always been a growing industry. Yeah. And it's not because of MLMs. It's because there used to be like hospitality, tourism, and then there were travel agencies that were sitting on corners and you would learn about them. And yes, this is one way to learn. But as a travel advisor, telling other people, like, here's your options is more important than quote unquote recruiting them with basically lies.
Yes.
Like it's predatory. That's the issue. And it does make us all look bad as a whole because we're all lumped together because we're all mostly 1099 commission based. But I was not recruited. I wanted to become a travel advisor in 2006. I pursued it. I looked into it. You were a little bit recruited, which is a little different, but that does happen because you had all the skill sets. She, recognized that you would make a good travel advisor. And that's different than somebody just predatory, like work on the side hustle, work in car line. Not to say that we don't do those things because sometimes you have to, but the business will control you if you're trying to work it in fucking car line. Like, that's not a real thing. You have to block time for this. You're dealing with thousands of dollars. I really hate when I see the MLMers try to plan a destination wedding. I'm like, stop the presses. Like, please take a training. Please take a course. Please get a mentor. Like a real one, not some person who told you they're your upline. They've never sold travel either. Educate yourself because you could ruin someone's wedding. Like, you could ruin it. You could ruin it. I cannot. I could go on forever. So we will try not to do that. But yeah. So you, though, really transitioned into a destination wedding arena. You started your Facebook group. Why did you want a Facebook group? Like when you bought my course, you were diehard for the course. So I want to know why you really wanted that for yourself. Like besides, it might work for me, but like really, because I think you were getting burnt out.
Yeah, mostly because I hate social media, which sounds so silly.
No,
but
I
really don't like.
A lot of people hate it.
Yeah, I continue to hate it. I hate consuming it, to tell you the truth. But what I have learned over the past 2 years is that I actually don't mind sharing on it as much. The more I go, I don't mind as much when I can just be who the heck I am. I'm a little messy, not so perfect.
I love watching your stories. I think you're killing it. Like I'm in your group still, and I really enjoy your content.
Thank you. So in my Facebook group, so this whole thing like has evolved multiple times, right, over the past 2 years. So at that time too, I decided I was like, weddings, pulling for destination weddings and pulling for your regular clients to continue the referraling, to be present, to just like keep being that go-to person. I was losing my especially thing was like, I'm leaving the salon. I built most of my business based on my hair clients. I had tons of my clients were either my hair clients first or their sister, their brother, their neighbor, their whoever. So that's how I built a lot of my travel business was because I would sit and talk to somebody and they say, oh, what's going on? Where are you going now? Oh, I'm going here. I'm going there. Oh, I want to go there. I could do that. You know what I mean? So I knew it was the same time I was like, okay, I'm losing that. I need to start a new thing where I just like talk about it just the same way I do as a hairdresser. Like it was kind of that same, I was going for that same energy of like, hey, what's new? Like as we're talking about your hair, like this is where I've been. Where have you been? What's good? I learned a lot from my clients. It's funny. I think back about how many, I learned a lot from my hair clients over the years. I learned about parenting. I learned about grief. I learned about how to manage a lot of things. And I learned about where people travel, how they spend their money.
Human interaction.
Yes.
Like that connection. Yep.
Exactly. And so I was like, as much as I dislike the running a Facebook like page looking all like, because at the time in 2023, I do think this has shifted. But at that point, there was still a whole lot of like, everything was like a Canva graphic and a perfected and like everything was like and I, clearly that is not me at all. And that just exhausts me to even try. So I was like, okay, this Facebook grouping feels like me just talking to people. I can do that the same way I talk to clients. So that's kind of why I joined. That's why I wanted to do that. And that was a little bit different than everything with destination weddings. Because in destination, like over the time I've seen like that, I didn't make my group all about destination weddings. It's
right.
Because that is to me, that's when I get bored of like over niching on that, on that side. It's more fun to like talk about other things, about other places and stuff. But that was my original, like why I did was, just to like.
Well, it definitely was like different from the messaging you were getting from Instagram, TikTok at that time. It was, there was a lot of curation happening with like your grid having to look a certain way on IG. And I was exhausted by that. Like, I remember just being like, this is stupid. I had come from the fashion side. I was in an MLM and I was in the fashion side and I loved it actually. But it was just like so much perfection, like perfect makeup, perfect outfit, So when I came back to travel and I started doing the Facebook group for my travel business, I remember just feeling like I don't need to show up a perfect way every day. And I need to teach this to them because I think that they will make better connections if they are themselves. And I had built a Facebook group for my fashion business and it thrived. And it was in a totally different market than how the MLM wanted us to be. And they did not love it. They did not love that I was thriving this way. So it was like a really interesting time in my life when I was like, again, can't be myself over here. So I have to find a private space to be myself and fuck off everybody else because I'm tired of being told I can't do it a certain way when I'm on a 1099 contract. So obviously I left them in 22 and I launched the Facebook groups course for you guys, but it was the same idea, like show up imperfectly. You don't need makeup. You can go live anytime you want. Go live with your coffee mug. Just really communicate with your clients how you want to. Be yourself. And I think that does attract a lot of people because as someone who just got on TikTok, by the way, like trying the TikTok thing, it's so much pressure. It feels like so much more pressure to show up. And I don't know, the Facebook group is still my favorite place to connect with people.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that it's worked. And I think what was so interesting about your story too, is you were so open with telling it to the other agents once you did take the class. And it really helped me grow at that time. So I appreciate you so much because I still use your testimonials because they were so detailed. They're so authentic and they're still real.
Yeah.
And like they still are it's still accurate, which is so nice. But like, what did it do for you to be able to build? Because I remember you were like, nobody's going to make an appointment with me. Nobody's going to like, what do you mean I can book 6 weeks out? I remember having those one-to-one conversations. I'm like, well, if you start sharing in your Facebook group that this is how you work, they will fall in line. And it's just like hair. You don't let people just walk up on you and book an appointment or squeeze in between 2-3 hour hair colorings. Like you make an appointment 6 to 8 weeks out. That can be your business for travel too. Okay, y'all, let's pause for a quick break. I know you want to be the best travel advisor that you can be. And if you're tired of being one and done booking engine and ready to build a business rooted in loyalty and referrals and providing the best white glove concierge care from close to home is the course for you. You will develop a workflow that keeps you in control of your time and service the hell out of your reservations after the deposit is placed. You'll never miss a final payment again. You'll continue to connect with your clients between the deposit and their descent home. You will master that post-booking client care in ways you never thought imaginable. Learn how to VIP your clients that allows them to feel so special without breaking the bank of your business. You will sell more insurance. You will upsell them throughout the experience, build those relationships, all while setting boundaries. There is no 24/7 here. You'll learn to manage hiccups like a pro, and you'll have the confidence to follow up with them after they return and encourage them to rebook for next year. Stop chasing new leads and start creating raving, loyal fans who never want to travel without you and refer you to everyone they know. Head to my website to grab From Close to Home. And don't forget to check the show notes for an exclusive coupon code. Okay, now back to the pod.
Yeah. Oh, and it was awesome because I was real focused during that time for like, you say 30 days, but I think I did it for like a good several months that I was like pretty consistent on there.
Yeah.
And I can't say that I am necessarily right now. Now I'm like maybe like last month I looked and I was like 8 times last month. Like, oh.
You don't have to be.
No. And the good thing is like I'm like
relax.
I can still come on back in if I when I need to.
Yes. You get to manage it now.
Exactly.
Built and sustainable on your own.
Right. But during that time that I was like super focused on it, I was actually like booking lots of calls. And that's the same time that I decided I need to charge fees.
Yeah.
For everybody. So like Will was also like, you have to charge a fee for destination wedding. And then I was like, okay. And then I was like, I should just do it for this too. Like, listen to you.
100%.
And then that's when I learned too, that when people make an appointment with you and they do have to charge a fee, they already trust you more. It's like they already feel like it is elevated and they're going to listen to your authority better. They're going to book with you more, like all of those things.
They're going to refer you.
They're going to refer you.
Yeah, you don't have to hustle as much for those new bookings.
Exactly. And then the ones who don't, like the people who don't want to follow my process, they self-select out. And that's okay too. Like there's plenty of people. And the other thing I always had the mindset I still have the mindset always with my Facebook group is like, this is a place where I can give away a ton of information for free to people who may or may not ever book with me. And that's totally fine. Like I just had that mindset of like, actually, I heard this many years ago from Pat. Oh my gosh, what is his name? He was the one who taught me about podcasting years ago. And he said, like, always just serve first. Like, just give away as much as you can for free to your audience, and then people will buy from you later. And so I was like, okay, I'll just keep a bit like that mindset too in this Facebook group. Like, I will answer any questions that are in my group. Like, I don't gatekeep in there either. Like if somebody's asking about certain places, because I think other people see that and then are like, oh, she knows her shit. And so
she's helpful.
And she's helpful.
Care about the sale more than, or the gatekeeping, or well, you have to make an appointment to talk to me about every little thing. It's like, no, I can give you that answer. Yeah. I can just point you in the right direction. Like that doesn't cost anything and it doesn't hurt us.
Right.
To do that, the more we can do that for our clients and each other, I think the more we will all elevate and thrive and have a better traveling community even.
Right, exactly. And so, and the other thing that I found was really interesting about the Facebook groups that I didn't know would be the way it was, that so many times the people who were the ones who booked with me, who called, who sent a DM, whatever, they never commented in the group. They were always the lurkers. Like,
status is
legit.
No. I have to tell people that all the time. Like you could have a literally dead, quote unquote, dead group where no one is talking, no one is commenting, no one is liking, and they are watching you. And they're not communicating because they don't want to be baited in. They might not quite trust the process yet, but as they watch and as they learn about you, they will think of you at the right moment and message you. And there's a couple of you guys out there that really talk about this lurker status. And as someone who also has a lot of lurkers, whether it's in the travel community as agents or in my travel business, I feel like my best clients are the quieter, like they don't always like yell from the rooftops and comment on everything, But what's nice is we provide a space for everyone to communicate how they want to communicate.
Right.
And we make it comfortable for them to eventually reach out.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Just showing up is half of it. Like showing up is, well, it's actually most of it.
It is.
Showing up is most of it.
And that's why I felt like, so at this point, the only things I do kind of feel okay about are like posting in my private group and doing stories on Instagram. Because on stories, like just like today, nothing. There's no filters. There's no like fancy. I don't even use equipment. Like if I have a thought in my head, I'll just like say it on there. And people like that. Cause again, between both of those, it's like just exactly who I am. And if you don't like this, if you're not into this, perfect. See yourself out. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. But if you do like me, like we can be friends. That's fine. I'm good either way.
I really appreciate that perspective because I think also there's so much, we don't want to be too salesy. We don't want to say the wrong thing. We are afraid of what they think. What if we get political? What about this? It's like you get to decide. Yeah. But if you hold back, if you continue to not be your full self, they can feel that too. Mm-hmm. They can feel that censoring. They can feel that, you had said, back in the days, you were a little bit more censored. You were a little bit more fluffy in your remarks. Now you're much more gritty. It's like, yeah, because I had to grow into feeling really comfortable being 100% myself. And it's still a journey. Like it's not always easy to put yourself out there every single day because people think that they can then say whatever they want to you in a way that I'm like, wait, I'm not mean to you. Right. Like I'm just direct, but like you want to be mean to me back. Like it's bizarre. But I think it's like the more that we are willing to share our life, our stories. Like I know you just had surgery, shared that. And how are you doing?
Very good.
Doing awesome. I'm so glad because I was so nervous for you because I've had that surgery.
Oh, I know. I had the best. So it was a gallbladder, which my PSA to all women over 40 right now is like, if you have a gallbladder and you're having like weird stomach problems, because again, we're moms, women over 40. I hear it all the time.
All the shit.
I just thought it was normal that I was throwing up every time I ate cheese for a month. Like, no.
Like maybe it's the dairy, but then you cut dairy, you're still throwing up over some. Yes.
Exactly.
Gallbladder pain is like labor too.
The night of the pain.
Fucking insane.
So the whole month I look back and I'm like, oh, that's dumb. I was sick for a month and I didn't realize it. But like I was like, I don't even know why. I just kept brushing it off. I went through 24 hours of thinking I must have had food poisoning. Again, I'm still not doing anything about it. It wasn't until the next night when I woke up with that pain. Labor, literally like labor pain. And it wouldn't go away. And it wasn't like contracting and stopping and starting. And it was like for 45 minutes. And then I was straight up doubled over. And I had to say to my husband, like, I need you to take me to the hospital. And he was like, what?
Well, my first gallbladder attack was 33. And I was in the tub. And I ended up like falling out. And it was the middle of the night. I wasn't feeling well. So I got in the tub. That's always my answer. I'll just soak in the tub. I'll just like try to get this pain out of my body. And same, I thought I was dying. I could not believe the amount of pain I was in. And girl, that was 2013. I did not get my gallbladder out until 20 after. Yes. And I'd seen doctors and they kept saying, it's not your gallbladder. They would do those, flush tests or whatever. And it was never coming back. And we moved down here to Florida and I had a horrific attack. Okay. Like I was on the floor again. It's like, this is fucking insane. You've been having these for like a year, like 5 years, but you've had 3 this year. So our neighbor at this time, we had moved to Florida. I'd only been living there for a couple of years. We weren't like friends. We were friendly. He is a gastrointestinal doctor. Okay. Eric went next door and got him and was like, you need to talk to Marcie. Like something is wrong with my wife. We're going to the ER again. Yeah. And he's like, oh my God, she needs to have her fucking gallbladder out. It was like the most legit straight answer. And I had it out. He helped me get into a surgeon who could get me in like you got in.
Yeah. Like 12 days later.
Yeah. 25 gallstones, girl. 25 fucking stones.
My God.
And mine here was pretty intense because of it, because it was unexpected how much was in there.
Yeah.
But I know yours was a lot better. Not to scare anybody, but it was an easy surgery. I still have my little scars, but it was just much more intense because it went on for so long. I did ignore it. You ignored it for a month. I was like, hold my beer on 5 years.
That's insane.
But they say most women who have had multiple children have gallbladder issues in perimenopause and stuff. And yes,
Yes.
So it's crazy. When you said you were having your gallbladder out, I was like, I'm so glad you did not go on that trip to
Yes.
Mexico City and then get
Yes.
stuck in fucking Mexico City
It was,
with gallbladder issues. You would,
and 2 of my friends did end up getting food poisoning there.
oh my God, thank God you didn't go.
They were like, oh
God.
my gosh, we're so glad you didn't come.
Thank goodness you didn't go. But I'm so glad you're doing
Yes.
well now because I
Yeah.
was nervous for you. I had a pretty rough recovery.
Okay.
And you were up and moving. I was like, look at her. Melissa, but I think it's because you're so positive minded too. I was still kind of in a bitchy attitude back in 2018. I think it like really hurt my chances of recovering well. So keep a Melissa attitude and not a Marcie attitude when you have to have surgery.
I tried to like, and this is, so I'm also like an Enneagram 7. I'm sure you're shocked if you know what Enneagram.
I'm an 8 with a 7 side.
Okay. Okay. So, I think my Vincent, my younger one, I think he's I mean, you can't type other people, but my guess is that he's probably an 8 with a little 7.
Yeah.
He's either that or he's in the 3. I don't know. Again, just a guess. But my 7 is not like to feel sad at all or pain or grouchiness or any of those things. So I'm pretty big on like, I kind of like cut myself off on how long I'm allowed to feel bad about something. So when I was in pain with this, like, so I went in the hospital. When I was laying there, I knew in 5 days I'm supposed to go to Mexico City to literally eat. And the doctor who was in there, he was like young and Indian, but I think he was born here, but his family's Indian. And he said, I said, I probably can't go on this trip, can I? Because it's Friday and I have to leave like Monday or something. And he's like, I mean, you can travel, you can get on an airplane. And he's like, please don't eat any street food. And I was like, okay, so that's
fun because we're going to be in Mexico eating street food every day.
Exactly. And he's like, yeah, like when I go home to India, like the street food, he's like, no, don't do that at all. And I was like, okay, so canceling. Perfect. Sounds good.
Well, I mean, I'm glad though that it happened before. Like I said, I'm glad it happened
Beyond
before,
glad.
and you could like take care of yourself, get the surgery, and I know that you're gonna get ready to travel soon.
Yes, and I can't wait.
I know. Where are you going next?
Extra.
That's gonna be so fun. Extra is such a cool property.
I visited once,
very cool,
but I've never stayed. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I've only visited, but I've sent some families, and of course they come back raving. It's such
families who don't have 3 kids, right? Because
okay, I do send 3 kidders there, but the parents have to be totally okay being in a separate building. And I love to talk a client into just like letting their kids be in a totally different building. It's like favorite things. I'm like, no, they're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. You're not gonna be so far away. You can't like face, you can see them on the Life 360. Everything's fine. Obviously, they're usually a little older.
Yeah,
but
we did that with my kids.
It's something to have those real conversations and be like, no, you guys do want this. Mm-hmm. But here's the caveat, and understanding how to sell it and understanding how to communicate and being solution driven. And my clients are like, we're so glad we did this. It was amazing, So I always like, I'll talk them into it. I'm like, fuck it. They don't need connecting rooms.
Yeah.
They're not 4 and 6 anymore. Like, let's go. Like, you're not going to Xcaret with, in my opinion, I think it's a great teen destination because obviously they can go to all the parks and do all the adventures, but, and stay in a separate building if they need to. Mm-hmm. But, okay, before I get too much more off on a tangent, I will circle back. I'm like, we have to go back in time again, Melissa. I want to talk to you really, I just don't want to get too far away from just your journey to this moment of like realizing that you can really have it. You can have this business thrive. You're going to have all the things you want, the way you want them. I think that's like really your story of over the 9 years, like just really, I'm just so excited for you. So like, how do you feel now in comparison to when you first got into the business?
So today I just had a thought about when in 2016, trying to say things nicely. Someone said, I was, so-and-so said they would like to apply for this job. And I sent them an email and they didn't reply within however many hours. And so obviously, you're done. This is not going to happen because if you can't reply to that email within a certain amount of hours, like you can't do this business. That's not how this works. Yes. It was this actual statement that I heard someone else say, not about me, but about someone else. Okay. And I was like, oh, like that's a thing. Like
immediate response
is the only way to live in this business. Like that lie. And it's like, you don't realize
that is the lie.
it's totally a lie, but you don't, especially when you're younger, like, and less experienced in whatever the thing is in your life. I was very inexperienced at that time, And so I was like, oh, that must be the way it is, that is how this works. And even little things like hearing, well, why would anyone pay you a fee when they could do this themselves? Why would anyone have you book their Disney trip if you weren't getting up at 6:00 in the morning to make their dining reservations? Why would anyone, right? All these like lies. So they were, but all of those like shape.
Well, it's all scarcity. Fear-based, fear-mongering around how people respond to somebody with some boundaries. Like if you have boundaries, you can't succeed.
Yes, exactly.
That idea of like, this is the only way it's done. I answer all my clients within minutes. And that's how I did it for 8 years. And it killed me. It literally killed me. I had to leave.
Right.
So, no. And I was terrified for that when I came back. Like, do I have to go back to this? Do I have to do it this way? I was like, there's no way I have to do it that way. That's crazy. I don't want to be so,
No, like that's not
journey girl to get to that.
Yeah.
Moment of like, they will make an appointment.
Yes.
They will need to talk to me.
Yes. Yeah. All of those things, like those like just those lies. And it wasn't even just like, within places that I belonged, but even like I was on like a Disney, what the heck do they call them? Not a fam. They call them something else.
Oh, the ADP.
Yeah. I was on one of them. And again, you're hearing the things from the different people. And that was all I was being inundated with because I didn't have like a Marcie or I didn't have these other perspectives.
I do not want to talk about myself in the third person, but nobody had a Marcie. Yeah. Like we did not exist. Like, there's a few of us now, and I'm like, thank God I'm not on this hill alone because it's lonely. But it's true. Like, it was also when you first started hearing it, you were like, whoa, wait, what?
Yes.
No, that's not what I've been told.
Right. Been brainwashed.
Lied to for 9 years about,
Yes,
yeah,
exactly. Sure. And like, so thinking about that mindset as to like where I am now, whereas like now, I actually, because I'm just like attention deficit, this week particularly, last week was just a stressful week for humanity.
A rough one.
Yeah. And it's been rough to be on the internet in 2025. No matter how you feel about anything, there's just a lot of, it's painful. Right. And so, this over the weekend, I could feel, like I said, even with my kids, like the rage coming through. And then
this eclipse season, though, too.
But what?
Like we have eclipse season. We are in between two solar and moon eclipses, and it's true that the moon and the sun control a lot of our actual feelings. I mean, we don't have to believe in it, but the closer the moon is, like the like the full moon makes everyone crazy.
Right.
It's these eclipses really affect our emotions. And
really,
yes, if you Google it, see, I'm a little bit woo woo. But I mean, I really believe in it. I believe that it affects all of our crazy. Like I'm just like, add to it that I have ADHD. You have ADHD. Your kids have it. And it's also hormones, right? Like everybody's hormones are out of fucking control. I officially was diagnosed with menopause, like not peri, like I'm full blown.
Okay.
And that happened last week too. Okay. And it's just been like very emotional. But on top of it, yes, 2025 has been a fucking hellscape.
Literally.
And we're trying to plan vacations. We're trying to keep it upbeat, but it's hard sometimes, right? Like
it's especially hard to talk about things that are like fun and happy and future oriented when everybody is like falling into a void. You know what I mean? Like of darkness. It's just a challenge. And so, but this week it feels lighter to me. Maybe I have prayed through this. I'm trying to work through this. I'm trying to like be kinder to myself. And this week I was like, I am kind of like slow business wise at this moment. And there was for a long period of time, like that I would panic as soon as I felt slow.
Yeah.
There's nobody call. I don't have anything I absolutely have to be doing. Like I would always be like, I have to be busy. I have to be. And now I'm like, I can enjoy this a little bit. I can have 2 hours to have a leisurely conversation with you. It is my best friend's birthday today, and I am going to take a walk and call her, and we're going to make some lunch plans. It's okay. I deserve to also get a break. I will take the time to make dinner for my children because that's important. Now, that doesn't mean that it's always like this. There's plenty of times when my season is very, very busy, but like I don't have that. I no longer have to feel like in order to be the person who pays the bills on my business, I also have to be so busy every single minute of every single day. Like that's not true. That's not a truth.
I love this abundance.
Yes.
Because the other thing is we know we have more confidence. The longer you're a travel advisor, the more confident you will become in who you are as a travel advisor, but as well as, in my opinion, what I've seen in just the last couple of years of knowing you is just this you've relaxed into it. And that's what I see today. And I think it's so cool because when you are like this, guys, when you are a little bit more relaxed and not holding on so desperately to a sale, to that commission, when you put service first, when you think serving over everything else, it really does create this open like flow of energy to you that will also help when things do get slower. You're able to look at it and go, I don't need to sit at my desk hoping someone will reach out to me today. I can go take a walk. I can go do all these other things. I can volunteer. Now I have time to do things because I control my schedule. And I think that's so much more powerful in a business than being busy 24/7. Like it's not fancy or impressive to be so slammed. You have no time for yourself, no time for your family, no time for your friends. And because at the end of the day, none of those people outside of our four walls and the people we care about most even matter.
Right.
Like,
yes,
life will go on without you if you're not careful. So it's like, I don't know, it's so powerful to feel that. And I can feel that energy from you, Melissa. Like I've also witnessed it, just being able to watch you the last 2 years. Like it's been an incredible journey. I love it so much for you. And I'm so proud of you. And I know you're just killing it in destination weddings now. I know that Mexico is like your love child. You practically live there. And I know you're friends with Lori Gold.
Yes.
So I'm also very close to Lori and I'm obsessed with her. So if you guys don't have experts,
oh my gosh, then
any
what
AI
are you even
ever
doing?
or anything in Mexico. Granted, she doesn't do the West Coast.
Right.
She's Riviera Maya, but there's so much. And I mean, hundreds of properties she's visited, tons of content, wonderful person, just genuine, beautiful soul as well.
Yeah.
So she is the Taylor Swift of Mexico, in my opinion. Like I call her that all the time. She's like, stop. She's so humble. She's like, I don't know. And I'm like, stop.
She is so humble. She is so like, it's so funny. I took a walk and talk with her the other day because if you didn't know, if you have experts, she does these walk and talks. And so
walk and talks.
It literally, it was like, we get to 2 hours and she's like, okay, I better go do work. I'm like, yeah, me too.
I know.
But she is so, she'll always be like, and then she's like, I probably should just be doing more. I'm like, are you a crazy person?
Girl, we talk about this all the time. I'm like, no, like even me, like I've had to figure out how to balance being this version for the travel advisors and still being a really good travel agent. And she and I talk about like how do you stay relevant? What kind of content do we need to be providing? And she goes way above and beyond. And now I'm learning like I can just do one big thing a year. So like this year it was do the damn air. Next year it's lead the manifest.
No.
And everyone keeps asking. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing in 2027, guys. Like I will still be here.
Yeah.
If I'm alive, I'll be here. Like I will be here for you every day in the groups. I am never going to change because I don't know how.
Yeah.
I'm obsessive compulsive. But she's the same way. We talk about like the longevity and how not to burn out as like a helper in the community, as a community person, because it's just a lot. But there's new people coming in every day that we need to serve and teach and help and grow. It's just crazy. But I love like watching you guys also step into those roles and potentially be the next generation of helpers, because the longer you do this, sometimes you get bored and you're like, that's how I got here. I was like just bored being just a travel advisor. I'm like, I want to teach people shit. It's like fun.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, it's funny. Yesterday, you said, at my coffee shop, we had, there were 7 of us who all belonged to Destination Wedding University, who were all, who all came to the coffee shop together. And we have like this wonderful little deal that if you have 4 people or more, you can pay $20 a person plus tax to get the private room for the day. And that includes food, coffee, drink, and pastries. Literally,
That's a deal, girl.
It's a deal
for networking.
Exactly. And so we are going to just do it like once a month. We do it usually like with BDMs and stuff, but we were like, let's just do it without a BDM sometimes. So like we had the 7 of us just like hung out, like co-worked all day. And then again, like,
oh my God,
I'm using that. I have an idea. Oh, what do you do? So when I literally at one point, I just got up and I was like, I grabbed the big screen and because I was like, let me just show you how I do this thing in my email because it's like really helpful and it's easy to show. And so I showed all of them. And they were like how I use tasks and whatever. And just to make things simpler. And they were like, oh my gosh, thank you. And I was like, this is fun. I love
life changer.
Yeah.
That's a life changer, Melissa, when you bring people together like that and provide just a space to talk about the business because we are lonely. And you were saying last week, literally how bored you were at home. And you know what? If I lived where you live, I might come like once every 3 months. Like I don't think I would come all the time because I don't thrive as much around people, but I think like that's amazing that you can bring even just the smallest community. And I know none of you are related in your businesses. Like you just all get to hang out and get to know each other. And what's really cool about that too is if you need help, you have these people that you can just like text really quick, like, hey, can I get some help with this? My brain is in the gutter. And having that community is so fucking awesome. It's good for our souls.
It is.
Really.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It feeds like a different part where, that's able
and
to.
That's where you and Jen met officially, like at your coffee shop.
Yes. Physically. Yeah. Literally, like I had invited her. We met online. And then the one day we were getting together that day, I think I sent you the picture that day because when she sat down and told me that we realized she went to Momentum and because I was there for the hurricane too, but I was over at Ava. You guys were at Majestic and we were talking about the hurricane and whatever. And I was like, oh, you were at Marcie's thing? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh, let's send her a picture. So
that was so fun. I love that so much. Okay. So we're getting to the point where we have to talk about your 3 free things. Okay. And we've given a lot of free shit away today, but I would love to hear like if somebody were listening to you right now and they were just like, I need help. I want to go do something today to change my business without investment, without, paying for a lot for it. What would you say are your 3 free things?
I should have wrote these down because I listened to a couple of your podcasts and I was like, oh, good. I got my three things. And then my controversial advice.
I have your form. I can tell you what you put, and then you can decide if you want to add to it. But your first one was get your calendar under control.
That was going to be my first one. Which is
so often one of them. So I feel like this is not just your advice. This is almost every single person's advice who comes on here.
Yeah.
That means you really need to do it, guys. Like if you have not gotten your calendar under control.
100%. Just use a scheduler always, like somehow, whatever it is you're with.
You can like Google Workspace has a new calendar.
Yes.
And then you can do Google Meet for free. Then you've got Calendly that's out there. There's a free version. I recommend paying for it just because you get so much more with the paid version.
Gosh, the new paid version is so amazing.
Girl, it's off the chain. And the new AI
I
take the notes. I don't have to do anything.
Love it. I love that. By the way,
I with texting. Like it texts me when I have an appointment. It texts you when you have an appointment. And yes, a lot of other services also do this. I think somebody had recommended a different version of the calendar in Propose to Close the other day. Teresa Mahabart, she's amazing. And I'm blanking on it, but there are so many calendar options.
Yeah.
The bottom line is get a calendar that you like.
Yes. Yeah. So like Calendly, Acuity, you have to pay for. That's another good one. But it's a
good investment though. It's a great write-off. Let's be real. It's a legit write-off for your business. So
definitely
get it.
Okay, so what are my other free things? I'm like, oh, I gotta pause, think for a second. Go ahead, you tell me what else did I say?
You said politely say no to shit you don't want to sell.
Oh yeah.
That's free. That's free to do. I love this advice because obviously from the beginning we're told to hustle, do everything, sell everything. I don't know if you were able to get on. I did a call about aligned clients for the Propose to Close group the other day. And we now put all those calls into the resources. I don't know why I didn't start doing that.
Yeah. I saw that today though. I saw it in there.
But it's a really great call because we do talk about the aligned client, which is free to narrow down your aligned client because I have a free questionnaire online for that. but also niching and really understanding your aligned client will go hand in hand with you narrowing what you really want to sell and how you want to sell it to people. And of course, there was a lot of conversation around being a generalist and why that's good and why that can be really bad. But really, it's a time saver and a money maximizer to have an aligned client and to niche and to say no to shit you don't want to do.
You don't want to do. Yeah. If you feel like it, and I go back and forth too with the niching. Like even sometimes I think I get bored because I am doing the same thing over and over. And I've been thinking much about like I always say, like, this is what I do right now. Like that doesn't mean anything forever, you know?
Right. Because your vacation's by Melissa.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can be whatever you want to be a year from now, 2 years from now.
Yeah. And And actually, I'm doing my first hosted group in November.
So what are you hosting? Where are you going?
It's in Mexico, but it is my friend Casey and I decided to do this just women. It's our women's retreat.
I did know about this.
Yes.
Good for you.
Yes. So there's 15 women total. What? Yeah.
Are you going to do the necklaces?
No, that's right. We talked about this. No, I didn't get everybody necklaces. I did
next year. It's a really good gift. Because I was like, what would you get that they don't want to throw away?
Right. Yes. She and I have been back and forth about that. But we do have some pretty nice gifts. I won't tell them because
I'm excited for them.
Yeah.
I can't wait to follow the journey.
But everything about it is curated and cool. And we're working with like a couple of different DMCs, like Living Dreams. We have some other fun surprises I won't say on here, but like some really cool people that we are working with to create. Like, it is not a trip that anybody would just like go to Mexico and like they would do it themselves. You know what I mean?
No, that is what Lead the Manifest is all about. It's like, you cannot find this on the internet. Let's do it. Like, let's create things that are not Googleable. And you will create a different niche for yourself, a different pivot in your business that is really profitable.
And that's why, I am very much considering that program for that very reason, because of not like I want to stay niche, but also sometimes I can get bored and I might be interested in something else. So I feel like I like the idea of coming up with another method, but that's something that's outside of my niche. That could be outside in my niche, but I could enjoy. I am not going to just say yes to Royal Caribbean cruises. I don't want to do that shit. Like, so, you know what I mean? Like that.
You know what you mean.
It's not for me. I got people who love them. They can do them in their sleep. It's fine. You know what I mean? Awesome. But like, if it's shit I don't want to do, I don't want to do it. Like, if it lights me up and feels exciting, I think it's okay to branch out of your niche.
Right. I love that perspective, because it's not like I'm saying, no, you can never do anything else. It's, do you want to do more of this? So for example, I'm taking Jude to Japan in March, but I have zero desire to learn Japan. So I hired Tori Caldwell, who's a Japanese specialist. She's been going since 2016. She onboarded into Japan through Disney. She's going to be on the podcast after we get back. Okay. But I don't want to learn how to do that. And even I'm finding it difficult even right now. Like, even when we're talking, she's doing all the work, but like, I'm like, I'm really glad you're doing all this work, because like, I don't want to do this. And maybe I'll change my mind when I'm there. I don't think I will. Right. But it's fine. It's okay that I don't want to do that. It's okay you don't want to do Royal Caribbean. And the more you get in that mindset, it's okay to say. And so a lot of times I think they just don't know what to say. Right. They're like, oh, but I'm a travel advisor. I should do everything. It's like, but you can say, actually, my specialty is Mexico. And while Royal Caribbean cruises to Mexico, I'm a land specialist. I specialize in all-inclusives for adults only, 4-star and up. That can be what you say, or you can just say, I actually don't sell cruises because it's not my specialty. However, I am happy to find you a cruise specialist.
That's right.
The world is large. There's specialists for everything. And that's why I also don't think we should be competitive in when people are like, oh, they have a travel agent, I can't talk to them. You can absolutely talk to somebody if you're specialized. And it makes it a lot easier to move people along, but also match them up with the right travel advisor and have that abundance of like, I don't have to do everything. I don't have to serve someone constantly to provide the best service. And they'll come back to me because I was honest, because they do now know what I do instead of that.
Yeah, definitely. Yay. Yeah. All right. What was my other thing I said?
Charge a fee.
Yeah, definitely charge a fee. Because believe it or not, like, while it will weed some people out, they're people you probably don't necessarily want, but also like the people who pay you a fee, man, they are, because honestly, like, to be fair, I've struggled back and forth at times, especially when I've had somebody who's, like, I've worked with them in the past. Sometimes it's harder, it feels harder to make that change, to explain that you've changed that and whatever. But like when people pay you a fee, they just believe you better. They treat you better. They respect you better. I mean, maybe not always, but like I have really found some of the people who are the best to work with are the ones who like put an investment towards their vacation with me.
I would agree with that. It's not always 100% treating me better, but I do think overall, people who have that partnership mentality, they've paid their fee, you're in it. It's more fun to work together because you're like, oh, they really respect me. They're excited to work with me. They've chosen me. And that just, the whole relationship just has a better foundation.
Yeah, definitely.
I love that.
I know. I had other things the other day. I'm like, when I was taking a walk and I was like, oh, I have this other piece.
I know. You'll be like a half an hour out of this and be like, shit, that I wanted to say that,
Exactly.
But we could always do a part 2 because obviously we have lots to talk about and we have been here for a while, but I have one last question. And you've already kind of said a few unpopular things, which I love so much about you because we keep it real. And I was just saying, you were so vulnerable with your following through the like I have seen you just grow through that and be more open. And I think just having that permission to like 100% be yourself that's what people is attracted to. That attractor factor is so important in our business. And I think that's why people trust you because you're like, I do have gallbladder surgery coming up and I'm probably not going to be as responsive. Or, I'm just not a big fan of like saying you're in a meeting. It's like, no, we're not in a fucking meeting. We're in surgery. So
yeah, actually, that was going to be my other free piece of advice.
Okay, good. Okay,
change your email signature and or put yourself in always going autoresponder. This has been so helpful to me on my email. So totally free advice. Figure out, talk like a human, like you would to a person. Make yourself a little autoresponder email that says like, hey, mine says something like, hey, got your message. Thanks so much. I will respond. If this is non-emergency, I will respond to you within 2 business days or something like that. And if I'm actually out or busy, I'll say, I actually just had surgery. It might take me a little longer to get back to my emails, whatever, just something in there that says like, I'm a human. I'm acknowledging that I got your email. Don't expect a response right this minute. And then add some links right below. So I always got like, if you're interested in my Facebook group, here it is. If you're interested, if you want to book a call, here you go. If you want to like whatever, anything's, give them something helpful to keep them busy. Because a lot of times, or like if you have a change and cancel form like I do, like sometimes they just need that self-serve. So like I think about it as a consumer. What do I appreciate from someone?
Like
Because,
how
like,
easy is this for me to do that I don't even have to talk to this chick? Like I just want to get it done.
Yes, because clarity is kindness. And like, so if I email somebody else and I got the acknowledgement, now I know they received my email. They told me how long it's going to take. And if there was something self-service that I was able to handle, perfect. And then, then you don't have to feel like anxious every time you get an email in the middle of the night or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, no, they know. And if it's not an emergency, I mean, and of course, whatever are your systems, like I have an emergency phone number, like specifically, and it's not listed there. I have it. I send it to people when they're traveling. So I say it on there, like check your final docs if you need for the, emergency number or something like that. But so that's my other one. That really, and people like it. And also like, just be yourself in it. Like mine is a little weird. Sometimes it says like, hey, did you order tacos? And they're like, what? And then they open it and then they're like, oh, you just had gallbladder surgery. Like, I don't know. Or like, I think my one that week I said like the day that Cheese sent me to the ER. That was the actual, instead of saying like out of office, I was like, I'm just being myself. So
I know, but that pays off because people are like, oh, she's always going to tell me. Like during August, I had an automator that was, we are adjusting to a new school year.
Yes,
and it will
I saw
take
that.
me some time to get back to you, sometimes up to 4 days.
Yeah.
Because I was literally in a full new schedule, 2 car lines, 6 hours the first 3 days I was in the car, 6 hours because the car lines were so jacked up here. And you'll laugh at this. I'm in a group chat with Lori Gold, and she was like, I thought car lines were fake. I thought they were a Hollywood thing, like a movie thing. And then you're like literally giving us the play-by-play of the crazy ass lady that was like, jump the curb on the left side to cut all of us off. I'm like, no, this shit is real. These people are insane. And it's like at the high school when you know they've been doing car lines for 16 fucking years and they're like jumping the curb. I was so annoyed. And she's like, I'm obsessed with this and I need a car line update every day. And now I'm doing them on TikTok. Like it's some like this stupid thing, but people like always watch the TikToks. And I'm like, this is why TikTok's weird. Yeah. But it's been so funny because I've been doing that conversation about car lines since the kids were 5. I mean, now I'm like 1 year away from no car lines. And somebody fucking told me this morning I was going to miss it. I'm like, no, I'm not. No. I'm not going to miss 6 hours in the car. Like, I'm not going to miss that. I might miss some of the conversations and the laughter, but like, I will figure that out. I will survive. And I won't tell moms they're going to miss shit because I'm like, no.
No. You can drive your kids other places to have conversations.
I will never miss leaving an hour before, sitting an hour in line, and an hour back from my school. I won't miss it. And some days I do it twice. So I'm not here for the missing. But I did have an autoresponder on because I was like, shit, my day has been cut down to 4 hours. I have no idea when I'm going to get your email.
Yeah. Totally.
And I really do try not to work too much in Carline because I don't remember what I've done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want to make sure I'm giving you the service you deserve and the focus. I can't do that if I'm sitting in Carline and like annoyed with the lady that's jumping the curb. Like it's just yesterday, the guy was on his cell phone in front of me on a speaker, like through his CarPlay. All my windows were up, all his windows were up, and I could hear the entire conversation. It was the loudest thing. I was like, how is he not deaf in his car? But also, why do I need to hear about this guy's lawyer situation? Like, it was insane. I was like, this is why people are crazy. Like, we're all just like a little loony. Like, I wanted to go tap on the window and be like, okay, I hope that's not confidential because the lady in front of you can hear, the lady behind you, which is me, can hear, and the lady next to you can hear that. Like, I didn't do that, but I was just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
So autoresponder was on with real life stuff. I love that freebie.
Yeah.
So, before we go, what is your unpopular travel advisor opinion? This was not on the form for you.
Oh, no, it's okay. I got one.
Okay, yay.
Yeah. And there's probably a bunch of people who are going to say I'm going
to bite my teeth. I can't wait.
And I'm going to be very specific in my own niche. And I'm going to say, if you have not invested your time, probably money and energy into how to do a destination wedding, please do not fucking take one on your own. So like that actually pisses me off the most because that's like, it's large amounts of people too. It's not even just that it's the wedding couple, but then it's like all of their guests. And like there is so much great training. You don't have to do Destination Wedding University. You don't even have to pay. There's so many places. There's the DWHSA. There's the
DWSA is very affordable too.
It's very affordable. And there's like
great trainings. I'm in that group.
There is so much available training to you. And there are people in every one of those groups that are willing to mentor you to learn to do it properly. Just don't be like, I've been booking Disney for a month. I'm going to just take your, because the problem is, and I say this because I did that once and I am like embarrassed by the things that I probably did wrong. And then you're giving so many more people like a bad energy about a TA. And like all you need is better training. Like get trained, get some education. And if you can't get yourself some education, ask for a mentor. They exist. You do one wedding with somebody who helps you through it. Like you'll know what you're doing so much better. That's all. Like, or if you really don't want it, go refer it out and like, make a deal with somebody, but don't
make a deal for the commission.
Make a deal. I do that with agents who are like not interested at all. And I give them a big old check to thank them for that, So you can make a deal. So controversially, do not take a fucking destination wedding.
Don't fucking do it.
Don't fucking do it if you are You
I
have
agree
no
with this
clue.
so much. I get so much anxiety when I see this posts about like, oh, I have a destination wedding and they want to go here, 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 here,
Yeah.
here, here, here. And they can't find any AIs in those places. Are there there?
Yes.
And I'm like, that's for a fucking reason.
Yes.
Please pause. Please push the pause. Well, this is my cousin. I was like, well, you're about to ruin Thanksgiving. So like, let's take a break.
Exactly.
And I always recommend the playbook, which is it is a little more expensive.
Yes,
Like,
of course.
that's a reasonable way to say it, but it is obviously robust. It's worth the investment if you are going to do more than one destination wedding.
Exactly.
For itself. But there are other options out there, and it's important to train properly in any part of our business.
Yes.
But when you are handling somebody's big day, it's so much more intense. It's bigger sometimes than buying a house for that.
Right.
These weddings are the most important part of the day or most important part of their life. And I agree with you. Like those early days of destination weddings that we all did, I'm like, holy shit. And I did have a mentor, gratefully.
Yeah.
And she was fantastic, but it didn't change that it was learn on the fly.
Yeah.
And it always has been, but it doesn't have to be now. There are plenty of opportunities now to learn how to do it right.
Right. And that's actually what led me ending up to Destination Wedding University and DWHSA and all the other things too, was once I was like, okay, I actually want to do this well. I had one or two that was tougher. And I did have a little bit of training, but I needed more. And I realized you just can't go into a random Facebook group and ask 3 posts and get all the information you need. So that's the biggest thing is like, that's why I say, even if it's just investing your time, like you might not have to spend tons of money. Like there might be some good training. There's plenty of trainings that are barely a cost, but they might take your time. Don't expect to go into one of these Facebook groups and be like, oh, I asked 3 questions. Now I know everything there is to do about like planning a room block and whatever. It's like,
well, and it does trigger people too. You are going to get some people who are just going to attack your throat. Like when you ask these questions, like, and I'm always like a little bit nicer. I'm always like, whoa, like let's breathe. If you're going to do this, this is how you need to do it instead of attacking them. I do wish people would give more information because it's too late. They've already taken it on. We need to make sure they're taken care of and that the client comes first, even if it's not our client.
Sure. Yeah.
That's how I feel. I'm like, let's give them the tools.
Yes.
To make this the best wedding that they can make it.
Right.
We've all been first once too, like first wedding once, so that I don't get to 239 weddings without doing my first one.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But like, there's a lot of information. So go take some time. It'll pay off later. Take some time.
It will. Everything pays off a year from now. Everything pays off. Like even if you learn hard lessons, they are the lessons you need to learn to grow and be the best agent you can be. So I'm so pumped for you. Thank you so much for being here with me today, Melissa. It has been so enlightening. I love hearing all of our stories and being able to connect our communities. And although we've never met in person, I always feel like I know you really well. So I hope to meet you officially one day. But I mean, you guys, if you need Mel, she's going to give us all her links and she's obviously very helpful, but don't inundate her.
If you are hearing this and you're like, oh, I am local to like Bucks County, South Jersey, I'll make sure I put in here. I actually have a little Facebook group there for getting together at our coffee shop. And that can be, you can be brand new TA, been doing it forever. We have people all different, like, and all kind of get together. And we usually like invite different BDMs for the most part. So,
I love come that. Join. So if you're in Bucks County, you're in Pennsylvania or South Jersey,
like 2 different worlds.
We'll drop that link. And thank you so much again for being here. I appreciate you so much. And I just so enjoyed this pod. It's been awesome. So thank you.
You are welcome. Thank you so much for having me. I had fun.
That's a wrap on today's episode, friend. Thanks for hanging out with me again on the No BS Travel Advisor podcast. I hope you're leaving this episode feeling fired up, inspired, and ready to take back control of your business. And let's be honest, your fucking life. If today's episode hit home, do me a favor and share it with your fellow travel advisors who need to hear this. And don't forget to leave a review. Your support means the world and helps me reach more badass advisors like you. And hey, if you've got a story to share or some no BS advice of your own, you've taken a course or 2 of mine, maybe you've been a coaching client, I want to hear from you. Head to my website to apply to be a guest. I'd love to feature you on an upcoming episode. Until then, you fucking got this. keep being bold, keep being unapologetic, and keep building the business you fucking deserve. This is Marcie Muensterman signing off with zero fluff and a whole lot of heart.